So I've been filming this since the 13th of October and I've been editing it for a couple of days, and I was just about to upload my last part of this series and I accidentally deleted it before I could upload it. So here I am a couple of days later and I'm just going to tell you the end of the story. So I got home from the hospital and walked up and my dad was on the doorstep, and as soon as I walked up I started crying and basically just fell into his arms, and I think that's the first time I've actually seen my dad cry before. And then I went inside and saw Zach, and he was crying too, which is kind of what you expect to happen. So we just sort of sat there and cried together. The hospital had advised me to go to the hospital back in Blenheim as soon as I got back off my flight. So I went there and they did another scan, which was one of the hardest things I've ever had to watch, because I'd had so many scans before and there was a baby in there, and then to go in and have a scan after just giving birth and having no baby in there was pretty difficult. I didn't even really look at the screen much, but they said that there was still some tissue in there and that I had the infection present, so they gave me some more antibiotics and some more of those little pills that I had to sit in my mouth to try and help me pass the tissue that was in there. And then I went home after that and basically fell to pieces, I guess. So they only took about 2 days to bring me her ashes, which came in this little urn here. It's got a teddy and some paw prints on it, and she's just in a little bag there. And I thought that was pretty quick. And as I said, I thought that she was a boy, so while Zach and I were in the hospital getting this last scan, we decided that we would name our boy Arlo John, AJ for short. Arlo was just a name that I really liked. It had been stuck in my head basically the whole pregnancy, and John is a family name of Zach's, so that worked out really nicely. So we decided on Arlo John, and I filled out the little birth certificates. I didn't have to register my baby because she was born before 24 weeks. So they just gave me like a little birth certificate that I could fill out and put on my wall, which I have, and yeah, I'll show you guys that memorial shortly. So with her ashes I was trying to decide what I could do. I was looking up tattoos and writing Arlo John everywhere basically, and then 6 weeks later we got the post-mortem results and found out that she was actually genetically female and that she was perfect in every way. And because of the way that she was born, her face had got squished and damaged, they couldn't autopsy her brain, and when I was in hospital Zach thought that he overheard one of the doctors saying that there may be fluid on her brain, so but they didn't come up and say that to me. They were just talking amongst themselves, so I didn't hear anything about that, so I don't think I'll ever know whether there was something wrong there. But from what the autopsy did tell me, it said that everything was perfect. And basically the only reason that I lost her was because of that blood clot that I had. It had gotten to the point where it was so large that it irritated my body into going into premature labour. And there was basically nothing that I could have done about it. Doctors have said that if I find out before 8 weeks in the next pregnancy, then they can just give me aspirin, and that will help to thin my blood out and reduce the risk of clotting. But that kind of made me question why I wasn't given aspirin last time, if that's all it would have taken. I asked that. I said, if I already happen to have a blood clot at 8 weeks like last time and I take aspirin, will that get rid of it? And they said that yeah, it would. So yeah, I don't know whether that would have worked or not, but that's going to be something that's always on the back of my mind. I'm still struggling with this. I've had a few nightmares. I won't go into too much detail, but basically I had one where I came out of my room at Grandads and Grandad was still there but the cat wasn't, and I had to explain to Grandad why we'd put his cat down, which was super weird, and I feel like that probably has something to do with feeling bad for putting the cat down. The only reason we did that is because there was no other houses that he could go to. My mum has pets and I had pets, and we felt like because Rusty had lived in that house for so long, if we moved him anywhere else he probably wouldn't cope. He'd try and go back home, he may get hit by a car, he might not eat, you know, it'd be all too new to him. So we felt like the best option was to put him down and bury him with Grandad. So, and then another nightmare I had was walking in this abandoned hospital, and I had someone push me into this dark room, and there was someone lying on the bed being tortured by all these chemicals and things being put into their drip, and I could hear them screaming, and then in my dream I realised that it was my own screaming, and that woke me up. So that one really, really messed with my head. And just one other one that I had was after I had the baby, someone came up to me, I don't know where I was in someone's kitchen, and someone came up to me and handed me this baby, and I looked down and it was all charcoaled and black and burnt, and I dropped it on the floor, and then I woke up, and yeah, again, really messed with me, and I don't know if that had something to do with cremating her or what the situation was, because I shouldn't have had to cremate her, you know. But sleep is a big deal. I take medication for it, sleeping pills, and I also take anti-anxiety, anti-depression medication. And I've only been on that for a couple of weeks, so I can't really say whether that's working or not. I'm still trialling it, but I feel better knowing that I've actively done something, you know, proactive to help myself feel better. I've also been to counselling a couple of times. I did about 6 sessions back home before we moved away. I do feel like I probably needed a few more than 6. I'm pretty much just holding on to hope that I'll have another kid one day and that things will work out for me. This only happened 6 months ago, and my due day was on my birthday. I should technically have a 1-month-old right now. And whenever I think of what I need to comfort myself, you know, I sit there and I'm like, okay, what do I need? What do I need? And my arms always go like this, and I know that I need something to hold on to hold close to me, and I'm going to start crying again. And some days I will just cry for no reason, and there are a lot of triggers around, like seeing pregnant women or listening to other people who have just had their babies. Most people are pretty understanding. I'll show you guys her memorial. Okay, so just here is my booties from when I was a kid. This candle normally sits over here, but I lit it last night on the 15th of October at about 7 o'clock for National Baby Loss Awareness Day. So I've got my booties when I was a kid. I've got a couple candles there which were given to me. Sorry, my hands are shaking. I have this onesie which Zach's mum gave to us. It says born lucky, but I'd really like to save this for the next child because I feel like they will be born lucky. This teddy bear was given to me at my twin brother's funeral, but the little diaper and bonnet he's wearing were given to me after I lost the baby. This clock here is Grandads, as well as the watch and the crystal wand. I've got a couple crystal necklaces here and a photo of Nana and Grandad when I was little. And I'll just go over and show you the wall. So there is the little blue blanket that I chose in the hospital. The green one above it was just one that was given to me with that same bonnet. The booties there are ones that Zach and I bought when we came on holiday when I was 15 weeks, and those booties actually match one of the blankets that she was cremated with. And then I've got the little pink blanket and bonnet which were given to me. The black photo with the heart on it, it says, "I knew only warmth, comfort, peace and love carried every second of my life. The last sound I heard, the beating of my mother's heart," and then it has her name. Above that is the little thing that we got at Grandad's funeral. I just really like that picture of him, so I put that up. Next up is the birth certificate. So I did originally write Arlo under this sticker, but we changed her name, so I've just fixed it up. And yeah, so she was born at 8 AM on the 10th of April. And then these are her hands and footprints. So as you can see, her footprints are about the size of the tip of my finger. And then just moving along a little, I have the little blue angel that I picked out at the hospital as well. I have my scan photo. I have a couple of these, but I'm just using this one at the moment. This is a crystal. It's carnelian. This is what Zach's mum bought me to wear to help with my uterus and the blood clot and the bleeding. And then this is the blue blanket that I bought with Grandad's card. I also bought this onesie with Grandad's card as well. And that's the one that I normally wear. And I just sort of gently sewed this black thing on to make it a bit more like a shawl. So that was her memorial. I definitely find peace in just sitting there looking at that. Like I said, I lit the candle last night and I just sat down in front of her memorial holding her ashes and this little elephant teddy that I got, which is about the size of a newborn. And basically just cried. I spent most of yesterday crying actually, and that's why it's taken me so long to upload these videos, so I do appreciate you guys waiting. I really wanted to get this full story out, but because my tablet wouldn't cooperate, I've had to upload it into 4 parts. And then of course about 5 AM this morning, as I was about to upload my last one, I went to delete the one that I just uploaded and deleted the wrong one, and now I can't recover it. Yeah, I don't really have any way to finish this video. Life is still tough, and some days it doesn't feel like it's even worth being here anymore, and those thoughts really scare me. But because I understand grief and I understand how I feel being left behind, I know that I couldn't do that to anyone that I love or anyone who loves me. And it's not that I don't believe that I'm cared about, because I know that I am by a lot of people, but some days I feel like I'm suffering so they don't have to, because if I stopped suffering then they would, you know what I mean? So some days are really tough and I question my faith a lot. That's something that I have to actively work on every moment of every day, reminding myself that one day I'll be able to look back on life and I'll be holding my child and I will be thankful that I didn't give up, hopefully. I'll leave it there, guys. Thank you for watching this video. And I really hope that you guys don't look at me any different now. I'm still the same person. I still love my makeup and my dreadlocks, and I still love making these videos, but I thought that I would finally get this storytime video out. So yeah, I'll just leave it there. Bye guys.